I'm Karen Tinlin, a member of the Board of Directors and a longtime TOPS member. Whether you came into this position of leader joyfully or you were lovingly coerced, I hope today I can reassure you that it's a most wonderful, rewarding, and easier position than you think it is. First of all, the most important thing you need to know is you are not alone. There are resources and people to help you, and I can tell you one of the things that's a newer help in TOPS, if you haven't paid attention to the internet and our website, you are missing a bet. This is where you can find program and meeting ideas. There's chapter programs on every conceivable subject. There are contests. There are certificates and ceremonies. You can have help with anything that you think would be beneficial for your chapter. But if you're still feeling a little unsure, check out the Leaders Training videos. The topics go from what is TOPS to how to run your first few meetings, the exchange system, and don't overlook your TOPS News as a resource. TOPS News has programs without even opening the internet programs. You have programs galore and ideas of things to share with your chapter. Because that's what it's about, sharing helpful information. Besides helping each other, it's about the education we all need to make the changes in our life of why we came to TOPS in the first place. I think sometimes chapters have lost sight and are so busy with the paperwork and the secretary's report that you may not leave enough time in your chapter for what really matters. So if this has been the habit of your chapter, you can make a difference. If you hear, "We don't do it that way," or if you hear, "We always must do it this way," check out your manual, your most important reference. Your TOPS chapter manual will tell you if what they're saying that you must not be doing is a rule or is just perhaps an old habit. If it's not a rule, I suggest you kindly say, "You know what? Let's try it my way." If you're not breaking a rule, maybe you're breaking into new ground that just might be the difference in perking up our efforts. Now, this is written in stone. This is important, so listen up here. Be yourself, but do not do it all yourself. There's really nothing more important for a leader than to delegate well. Everyone needs to be part of the team. Once you are all part of the team, it all comes together. The most successful chapter is the chapter that everyone takes part, whether it's the smallest thing of getting there 5 minutes early to move a chair, or whatever you find that you can, the talent, the people you have in your chapter, base it on the talents of the people in your chapter of what job you assign them. Then don't forget to be thankful, grateful, appreciative. Know that when you have recognition in your chapter for successful losers, that you remember to thank those that were there to help make it happen. Everyone likes to be part of the process. The more responsibility you give them, what you're thinking of that you're taking your job and giving it away, you're not. You're doing your job. The more you give away, you're doing your job. Be yourself, but don't do it all yourself. That's written in stone. One of the things that I pointed out earlier was the manual, and it has everything you could ever reference. You go to this index in the back. If you have any questions, there's a wonderful index to look up questions that may come up. However, before anything else, it can tell you, beginning in chapter 1, exactly what it means to be a good, caring TOPS chapter. A circle of friends. No matter how you are seated at meetings, you are a circle, each member connected in support of each other. What you give to the group continues through the circle until it comes back to you. Simply put, the more you give, the more you receive. And this is so very true. New to our manual this year in the revised edition, and do make sure that your chapter is using the second edition, is the TOPS member Bill of Rights on the first page. Now there's 10 good points here, so I'm not going to go into each one, but each one has an important statement, and I recommend that you read the first couple of pages of chapter 1, you understand your members' Bill of Rights, and then you plunge in. Come up with new ideas, fresh ideas. If we were all COPS, if everyone in your chapter is already a COPS, and you are getting new members and new members galore who also are now already almost COPS, then your chapter's been doing something right. But if it isn't that way, and you know what? Sadly, some of us are just moving a little bit slower than we should. Don't you want to help us move faster? And what you can do is change it up. If your chapter comes and does a program every week from something they might have read in the newspaper this morning, or they pulled off the internet somewhere, who knows where and who knows who wrote it and who knows how factual it is, perhaps you can make a change in your chapter and point out what amazing programs that are vetted, that are professional, that TOPS provides for you to use. And they don't have to be difficult. If you feel like it's overwhelming to have 2 pages in this program, do 1 page. Read it through yourself first, and then in your own words, present the thoughts. And if you're still terribly uncomfortable, remember, everybody needs a job. Therefore, you shouldn't be running every meeting. You shouldn't be doing every bit of education. Each of your members in the most successful chapter should take a turn doing what they know how best to run a chapter meeting, meaning the educational portion. And where is the educational portion in your chapter? Is it after you've spent 15 minutes trying to remember what's going on last week, or talking about, I don't know, what who Susie had for company this week, or whatever purpose other than the education we're there for? I don't mean that we can't share and care, because that's why we're there. That's what makes all the difference, is that we do care about each other. But remember the purpose of why we came. We came to lose weight. We want to hear about losing weight. When you have taken some time out of a member's day that maybe they only can give the first 45 minutes of your 1-hour meeting and they have to get to work, that's when you can use that last 15 minutes to catch up on any events that are in the area you might want to announce. You might want to read what's new from the coordinator's letter. And the coordinators and area captains are 2 other resources for you. If you cannot find what you're looking for in your manual or your rules, these are your go-to people. So I suggest right now you make yourself aware of their name and their contact information so that they're there for you at a drop of a hat if you have a question. Being a leader to me is one of the most rewarding positions, because you can see the results of the efforts of what the group is about. Sure, the members come to the weight recorder to get weighed, but you need to be aware and watch each of your members and see where they're coming along, and pay attention when they're announcing how they're doing. And you notice a member having a couple of even 2-3 weeks in a row that they're really struggling. You know what? A note from the leader would mean the world to them, or a phone call. You're the heart of the chapter. Open your heart to everybody. Be there for them. And that's more important than any other meticulous minutes, treasures, rules. Be there. Open your heart, and you will see what a wonderful job it can be to be the chapter leader. Good luck.